especially when he turned around and looked and basically flipped him off with his face and ducked back down into the pipe with his little butt moving and finally goes down. That was hilarious.
And we are live.
We are live. We are live.
We're alive. We're alive.
Yeah. Hello.
Oh yeah, that's me. Sorry.
This is IndieVolt Breakfast Buzz.
Let me get over there. Sorry, that's me.
Today we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff this morning. We got some stuff to talk about.
There we go.
Awesome. We're gonna talk about gatekeepers. We're gonna talk about gatekeepers. We're gonna talk about convention perks. Is that what it is? And we're gonna talk about a bunch of other stuff that's gonna get us in trouble. But before we do that, we also want to address the fact that I was up this morning and had to go to the doctor's office, and that was not a good experience at all. Didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine though. That's fine. We'll talk about that too. This is IndieVolt Breakfast Buzz, and here's the intro. Boy, that wakes you up, doesn't it? Yeah. Hello, my name is Varian Grant. You guys know me. I'm awesome. I'm co-owner of
he is awesome.
Yeah. I'm the co-owner of the 7-year-old Last Call Comics, founder of IndieVolt Media LLC. I got my start making comics back in 2008. My first book published was a black and white action comedy called Psycho Sirens. I'm a father, a husband, a geek, a creator, a publisher, an artist. Shamefully not in that order. And you're watching the IndieVolt Breakfast Buzz. Today, I'm joined by...
Or listening to the IndieVolt Breakfast Buzz.
Yeah, you may be listening to the Breakfast Buzz on IndieVolt Radio. Yes. This morning, I am joined by Randy Zimmerman and Louis Bright Raven. Gentlemen, how are you doing this morning?
Doing good.
Introduce yourselves.
Go ahead, Louis.
All right. I'm Louis Bright Raven, 26-year industry veteran of comics, science fiction.
Dishonorably discharged.
I'm still on active duty, by the way.
Yeah.
Still on active duty for over 3 decades.
Yes.
It's okay.
Anyway. And role-playing games. And founder of Constellation Studios. Been around since 2000. I guess the most recent orientation of, or rather, version of Constellation Studios has been around since 2007. Producer of Wingman, art book in 2011. And I also worked with companies like Mr. Zimmerman's Aero Comics, who produced books like Spank the Monkey on a comics market.
Awesome. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Scott. How you doing, bud?
All right.
We just got joined.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, we had...
Well, we're just being talked about. Is that it?
No. We just got joined by.
Yeah.
So you heard the word wingman and you thought, yeah, it's got to be me.
No doubt.
Mr.
Good
Randy,
morning, everybody. It's Bright Live here on Streamcast.
Yeah. Randy.
Yes. Introduce myself.
3 decades deep in this industry.
Deep up the back crevice of the industry. Actually, more like it. Done just about everything except work for the big two. Though I did turn down an internship at Marvel back in '85. So.
Oh, did you really?
I did. I was going through a rough divorce at the time, and the way it was pitched to me, I'm like, I asked him how much I was going to make. That was the first thing. It's an internship. He goes, you're $9,000 a year. And I laughed at him, in fact, right in his face.
Wow.
I said, there's no way I'm moving to New York City for that. And that just, boom, shut the doors right there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, Nadine Lobes went out of her way to arrange it, too. And I had no idea it was coming. So it was kind of blindsided me. The guy goes, you should come to New York and be an intern. I said, oh, well, okay. Well, what does that pay? $9,000. I ain't doing that.
Is that the kind of numbers you want to throw to somebody from Michigan?
No, not going through a divorce at the time and having to afford child support. So,
Oh God, no! Especially how much it takes to live in New York too.
Yeah. That was the first thing that crossed my mind. I ticked a few people off that day. It was it was an interesting day. But anyway,
and you've been a pariah ever since.
I've been a deep pariah. I pissed off of quite a few Marvel editors in my day. So yeah.
We'll talk about those days another time. We'll talk about those days another time.
Another time, always. A couple of beers. There we go. We'll talk about Axel Alonso and Joey Quesada, and oh man. Anyway, but anyway, I've been printing alternative comics ever since. Been in the alternative market, self-published a lot of stuff. Last 10 years, I've been doing Flint Comics, a free to readers newspaper. I've been circulating here in the Flint, Michigan area, Genesee County area, really. And I've been moving more free papers than what Vertigo sold of any of their titles on their last incarnation.
Wow.
So, there we go.
Boy, we sent some pot shots.
Or pretty close. I'm not sure about the numbers. I could be over exaggerating. Got to print 1 million copies, stopped it because I really wasn't making a lot of money, and my commercial artwork where I was making a lot of money was really picking up and going crazy. So I've just been able to breathe about the last 3 or 4 weeks and actually start cleaning out the mess of a basement that I have here. So, finding lots of stuff to talk about. So I have a Zim Geek channel now on YouTube that I'll be covering a lot of stuff here in the very near future.
Yeah, looking forward to more Zim Geek.
Yep. I just put one up a couple days ago where I showed how to draw hot stuff.
Oh, no kidding. The old
the
Harvey.
Little Devil. Yeah, it was fun.
Oh, it was awesome. I love those Harvey books.
Oh, man. I'm doing a video on that, too. The greatest company for kids ever.
Oh, yeah.
Ever.
Oh.
Yep. A talking ghost, a 1%er, a little devil, a lazy army guy, sad sack. It was just a great company. Little Lotta, who was everybody was fat shaming, who really didn't care because she got through life just fine.
Yeah.
And a girl who was obsessive with dots, just amazingly psychotic.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy book like you said, look at it under a modern perspective. But anyway.
Yeah. And Mr. Rosema.
Scott.
The short version of your accolades, otherwise we'll be here all morning.
There is no short version of it.
Don't worry, just go ahead, plow through it. Speak like an auctioneer. It'll only take you half an hour.
What's that?
I said, speak like an auctioneer. It'll only take you a half an hour.
No. Marvel, Disney, DC, Warner Brothers, Valiant, Cartoon Network, Archie Comics, and on.
All those things.
Been freelancing. I've been doing that kind of work since 1987. And, 1990. I started professionally in 1986 or so, 87, when I started working for some independent comic book companies, as Pied Piper Press and
there's a name I haven't thought of in a long time.
Oh yeah, boy, there's some stories there. And then formed my own companies with Roger McKenzie, ex-writer of Daredevil and Captain America. We did Big Shot Comics, and then odds and ends, little things here and there. Malibu and those kind of companies. I did a fair amount of logo work for Malibu. So I done a lot of that, and have I won't even begin to cover the number of characters I've actually been able to draw. So
it's in the thousands.
There you go.
So, gentlemen,
my hand shows it.
I may draw in handy. What is it?
What are we doing again?
Yeah.
What's that? Speak up.
We have we're excited to have everyone this Thursday morning. I mentioned earlier before the intro that I had a breathing treatment to do, and the doctor afterwards, she asked me, "Did you study?" Because you completely failed it. And so I failed a breathing test. I couldn't study. So it was you get in this machine, you blow into it, you gotta hold your breath, blow. Then there's a point where the machine locks up so you can't breathe. And it's not an enjoyable experience, but it's not the worst. But apparently there's some issues with my lungs and breathing. But anyway,
Yeah.
That all that stuff is you know, not really the point.
We assume that there's some treatments you can get for that.
Oh yeah, they'll be hooking me to a CPAP machine, or I'm making this cut like my head off, put me in a RoboCop body. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. I
want a video of that process.
Always educational. A video of that process would be very good to see.
So guys,
there he's got a spine. Look, despite what Krista says.
Varian,
yes.
I did not get a chance to read through the item you sent me last night to give me a heads up for today's this morning podcast. So, what was that item that you said we're going to be covering? Am I getting ahead of it at all? Or?
No. We're going to jump right into it because it is one of the things that people have been messaging me this morning asking about. If you don't know what Scott's referring to, on our YouTube page, we put little teasers up about what we're talking about, and we're going to talk about the gatekeeping drama. We touched on that a little bit on Tuesday show, but there's also, I got an email from a cosplayer that's offering massage services. It's very industrious young lady.
Please stop.
That got his attention anyway.
that might not be. She might not just be a cosplayer.
That's true. All kidding aside, I mean there are real legitimate massage therapists out there, and that's actually very good for you.
Yes.
Yeah. I was going to contact a comic book writer I know that is also a massage therapist, a licensed massage therapist, and I really wanted her to weigh in on it, but I didn't get an opportunity. I don't want to bother her this morning, but that would be pretty fun to have her come in and tell us. But I'm gonna put the question up. I'm gonna put the statement up that I received. All right. Here we go. Let's get into that, guys. Who wants to read it?
I'll read it.
Okay,
I can read it.
All right.
Unless it's really embarrassing. Hi. Yeah. Are you tired after a long day at the con? If so, me and my BFF Tara are offering 1-hour cosplay massages to all Artist Alley exhibitors at Wizard World Chicago. Only $150 an hour. Oh my God. Well, there's the key right here. $200 for out call. Those are magic words. Call Tara to book now. Duos available. Lots of outfits. Brought by Kara. Usually when they use the word out call
and duos.
Yeah. I'm not sure if massage is really what they're selling there.
Wow. Yeah. See now, there's when they say
especially at $150 an hour. Yeah.
$150 an hour. Wow. Now, $200 for out call. I assume that means they'll come to your room or something.
Yeah.
They're doing more than massages.
That's a term that I first discovered reading the back of the Metro Times.
Wow.
For me,
lots of outfits. Well, a real massage therapist doesn't have to worry about wearing an outfit. Obviously, they want to play to somebody's kinks, which is, at least you know what you're getting.
More than a massage.
And for $150 an hour, that better be a hell of a massage.
Well, yeah.
Actually, and I'm kind of half kidding because that's not a bad rate for an actual real massage therapist. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, yes, it is.
Still.
Oh, something will get massaged, all right.
That's right. 45 to 50 is usual around here.
Yeah.
Well, remember you're in Chicago.
No, I'm up here in Michigan. Oh, yeah, but Chicago, those rates may vary in according to location. Yes,
$150 an hour, $200 for out call. So save yourself $50 and go to them. But I did block her number out because in case there's something going on, I don't want to be. I don't want IndieVolt to.
No, you do not want to advertise that.
Yeah,
smart going there.
Yep.
Guys.
Apparently, she's doing her own advertising as it is. So.
Yeah. Are we? Because you know what's funny is the email was sent to me in my personal Last Call Comics email. So I don't know how she got it. I don't know if I signed up for a mailing list somewhere.
Not only that, but she knew you were going to Wizard World Chicago.
Yeah, well, it's my Last Call Comics email. So yeah, it's probably because of it is advertised, on the site. But that's rough. That's a rough if it's legitimate, if she's just gonna dress up as Power Girl and give me a back rub, that's one thing. I checked with the wife. She said no. She didn't use those nice words. She didn't say just no.
I'm sure she.
I think there was an F word probably associated with it.
Yeah.
Varian Gabriel comes up with a very interesting mention.
Gabriel says, I might want to note that it doesn't mention specifically that they are female.
That's true.
It doesn't. We don't know what they identify as. You're right, Gabe. You're completely right.
And Kara and Tara, how convenient.
Yeah.
Kara and Tara.
Yeah.
That's like Jan and Jaina, or Wendy and Marvin, or whatever. I don't know.
Wow, Wendy and Marvin.
Wendy and Marvin.
Guys, I got a question. You're at a Comic-Con. Comic-Con can get tiring. You're standing on your feet all day, maybe. You're sitting there drawing. Would you be interested in a massage after the show? In your hotel room? Would you be interested in that?
I'm not sure in the hotel room. That's that. I mean, it's not that I really care too much about what people think of me, but I would not want to contribute to the potential imagery or the potential atmosphere that could create. Word gets around fast that hey, he's getting such and such in his room. I just wouldn't want to add to the din of speculation. Let's put that way.
It's just an invitation for trouble.
Yeah. Oh, good. Even better way of putting it.
Yep.
So I probably
you can go to the hotels. They got the spas and a lot of these hotels.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Listen. They're not going to dress up as Vampirella and do it in the hotel.
Who cares? You're there for a massage.
Only if you ask them.
That's true. Well, the thing is,
and they have the costume available. She says she's got lots.
Well, no, I'm talking about the one in the hotel. The one at the
But like they say, usually that really won't matter because any really decent massage, your eyes just snap shut anyway, and you kind of get lost in the whole, sensation of getting the muscles worked and everything. So, they can dress as Frankenweenie for all I care.
I like the idea of having them set up at a show.
Yeah, actually,
where you can pay them $35 for 15 minutes or half an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're feeling tight, you need a muscle relaxed or whatever, then you can pop over there and get it done. But having them available to come to your room and inviting out calls, that's probably more than a massage.
Yeah, and truth to tell, actually, Susie and I, we have a very good friend, a fairly young gal. Katie's her name. She's actually a registered massage therapist, and she was thinking to bring her massage table with her and to set up at the show.
Yeah,
and that'd be and the thing about it is she puts it across as saying $1 a minute, because usually a really great massage doesn't have to be more than 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah,
so
15 tops in your butter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right hands. Yeah. Yep.
So for all the people that do walk around a lot, or or just simply want to relieve the tension of all the excitement, just go right to her open booth, and there you go.
There have been massage therapists on the floor before at conventions.
Yeah,
I know they were doing like a 3 to 5 minute free one for exhibitors early in the morning. But what Kara is suggesting here seems like it might not be on the up and up. It might be. It could be on the up and up. Something will be up. Just quite nasty.
Still, the way it's worded, out call, duels available, lots of outfits.
Yeah. Yeah.
Extra $50 will throw in some oil. I don't know. It just doesn't. Doesn't quite ring right to me.
$50 for the props.
yeah, really.
We're gonna role play here now. You're gonna be Supergirl with the skirt. Damn it, with the skirt.
Yeah, Catwoman with a whip.
See how long that lasts on the CW.
Yeah, exactly.
So guys, yeah, I mean that's. I don't think that it's on the up and up. It could be, and if it is, I apologize to Kara and Tara, but I honestly think it's a little extra.
It's on the up. It's on the up and up.
Yeah,
something up.
I'm gonna send somebody to maybe I'll send someone to go investigate. Tell me,
put your top guy on it.
Yeah. Hey, I want you to call these young ladies and I want you to get the duo. They're gonna dress as the Wonder Twins. How about that?
If need be, I'll sacrifice and do it myself.
Yeah.
I'm sure Susie won't mind at all. Will you?
No.
That's about right.
So, guys, one of the things we want to touch on, besides Kara and Tara, is
you just want to touch on Kara and Tara.
Yeah. Is who maybe men. We don't know. We talked about it briefly Tuesday. Sorry, yeah. Today's Thursday. About gatekeepers in the industry. But the question I was asked was one of the questions I was asked after the show was, what do you do if you find yourself on the wrong side of a gatekeeper?
Okay, let's first define gatekeeper. Are we talking Comics Gate?
Well, no.
Someone different gate.
Yeah. Someone who won't let you.
Don't get your gates confused.
Yeah.
Because Gamergate is closer to Kara and Tara, but Comics Gate is no.
Okay, so gatekeeper is defined as
someone in authority who's blocking you from getting work.
Yeah.
From
bad editors, for example,
in the industry
can be gatekeepers.
Yeah. Editors or someone like we were just on Tuesday. We were talking about how
Brian Polito had run into a hurdle when he was starting his next campaign, because he had gone through and sunk money and promotionals into announcing when it was going to go live. Because, when you start your crowdfunding campaign, everything is in your first 24, 48 hours or your last 24, 48 hours. So he wanted to make sure everybody knew so he could get as much money in there as possible. Well, he's getting ready to go live, and Kickstarter goes, well, wait, you haven't fulfilled your last campaign. We're not going to allow this campaign to go live until we know the last one's been fulfilled. Even though he's been doing it for like 4 or 5 years, once every 4 months. He was trying to streamline the system a little bit, and Kickstarter was not getting in line, I guess you would say. He was getting ready to get his previous book out and was starting his next one right away. And it was too soon, apparently, for Kickstarter, and they told him no. So he had to hire people in on an emergency basis to pack up the book, because he already had the book in-house, and get it all ready for shipping, and do a video of them all in shipping crates and boxes to convince them that they were going out, in order for them to green light the campaign that he had sunk a lot of promotional time and money in for.
Okay.
And it was a campaign that pulled in over 200,000 in the first 48 hours.
Wow.
It was a Lady Death book.
Okay, so in his case, the gatekeeper was Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like I said, authority figure.
It was an authority figure at Kickstarter.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well,
we were saying that because he had such a reputation and had already fulfilled a large number of campaigns already, it should have been assumed on their part that everything was going to be smooth sailing. But apparently the gatekeeper there wanted to either cause trouble or wanted to stick too close to the rules, or who knows what. Where over on Indiegogo, they've allowed special circumstances for people to run more than one campaign at once.
So we're going to discuss, what do you do in that situation? I personally, it sounds like Paludio has tried to address the actual situation that the gatekeeper has put on a doorstep.
He did what he had to do. He had people in working overtime and got it shipped up and sent her a video or him a video showing that everything was good to go. And, you know, they finally greenlit the campaign when he said it was going to go live.
Okay.
Luckily, like I said, because he pulled in over 200 grand in the first 48 hours.
Uh-huh. Which, and again, I've always been a huge fan at a distance of how Pluto does these amazing Kickstarters. I mean,
and that's not new to him. I mean, that's not unusual for his campaigns.
Right.
Oh no, and that's what gets me is that his whole Lady Death, Evil Ernie, you know, all those things. He's done an amazing job of, you know, getting these properties out there and gathering followings.
He's got a cottage industry with his own pocket of fandom that he knows how to work and has successfully done it the last, you know, 4 years or so on his own.
Right. Well, that it certainly makes it easier for somebody in his position to deal with a gatekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we want to evolve the question into, say, one of us per se, what if we run into one of those gatekeepers? And I'm trying to rack my memory. I don't know if I've ever run into that. I might have, maybe, without knowing it. But I would say right off the bat, my first comment would be, do your best to make friends with that gatekeeper. Because if they're in the position of authority to wield it over you, really, frankly, there's really not much you can do about it to get them to stop or to change their mind, unless you can find a way to get in their good graces. That's what I would say.
Yeah. What I suggested on Tuesday is that Brian go out and find the gatekeeper supervisor and take them to lunch.
Literally take them to lunch.
Yes. Literally take them to lunch
Not
and explain to them, you know, take a spreadsheet. Yeah, no, not, you know, nothing more than, you know, lunch and a nice little talking to with maybe some figures.
Nothing is wrong.
Fact sheet.
Nothing is wrong with after the lunch taking him to get a nice massage as well. Really?
Bring Tara with you.
Yeah.
Lewis, what do you think?
I'm agree with what you guys are saying mostly.
Okay.
I think that you definitely. I mean, me personally, I don't know if I would have the. I mean, I would like to do what Randy said and get the gatekeeper, go above their head if you have that ability. Because I don't. I'm going to bitch my own on the internet about it. I do think that when you're in a position where you have a gatekeeper or someone in charge who is keeping you from success or, you know, being able to make money, it's abusive. It's abusive. They're abusing their ability. And in Brian's case, this man has brought so much money to that company. I know they got other people who are bringing money as well, but he's one of the, as far as comics go on Kickstarter, one of the top drawers. And to tell him that he, you know, that even play with him like that, you know, if I was him, I mean, I'd still be irate. I honestly don't think I'd launch my next campaign there. I'd go somewhere else. Unfortunately, there's like what?
That's the thing. There's only one or two other options for you to go to, and it wouldn't be difficult for you to jump over. Or, as we mentioned on Tuesday, he's big enough now where he could probably start his own crowdfunding company.
Exactly.
And just do it himself.
A similar question I was asked, Dave Brown, Dave Supreme. I'm not sure if he's in the chat, but he asked me a question on through Messenger. It was on Wednesday, actually, yesterday. And it's kind of in the same vein. How would you handle a person running a show showing favoritism to certain creators or vendors? Is that fair?
Depends on what you mean by favoritism.
It's not fair, no. But again, I think it comes down to a certain quality that relates to the previous gatekeeper question. Is how much energy and time do you want to put into something if it's not going to be effective for you? You know, I mean, I've been a rebel for as long as I can remember in terms of not liking the systems I get in front of or situations I get involved with. But at the same time, I'm only going to spend just so much time and energy railing against it just for the sake of opposing it versus spending my time in a better way to either change my position within that system so that I get the most benefit out of it. I in my youth, I was tilting at windmills with the best of them, but after a while, you have to realize, okay, how much actual change am I going to enact in the situation, or for the bigger picture, greater good, or how much can I actually affect change for myself? It's usually a far better use of your energy to find a way to navigate through the situation so that you get the most benefit out of it, and hopefully along the way, like Han and Chewie, setting little bombs along the way to try and make that system that's unfair kind of start, wrinkling at the edges a little to help maybe have it change. I just, certainly at this point in my life, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time, against a huge system I have very little chance of changing, though I'll still be against it. In that case, in a show, I have no authority to get them to change per se. So do I want to risk getting kicked out of the show just simply as a way of protesting it, and therefore I get no benefit out of it and they don't change anyway? Or do I try and get it to change so that I can still benefit from the show, but still show that I'm against what's happening? It's a very delicate balance to strike, and not a lot of people can do that. I wouldn't. I would certainly want to talk to somebody and express my disfavor, my dissatisfaction. But man of La Mancha is for the young.
I think being the favorite at a convention or a favorite of a promoter, I've probably been on both sides of that coin. There have been times where I was shown a lot of favor, and then there were times where I was the
corner.
I was the adopted redhead child in the corner.
Every show is different. Every promoter has a different attitude.
But I mean, honestly, the advice that I gave Dave was that if you feel that this promoter doesn't like me, don't do anything. Oh, you can, but after the show, reach out to them. Tell them that you really enjoyed being at the show. You can't wait to come back next year. There may have been a misunderstanding between you and that promoter somehow along the lines where there may be some animosity. And that email that you send saying, "Hey, I really enjoyed the show. Can't wait to be back next year," might help to clear things up or clear the air a little bit. So,
sure.
A little butter, a little grease always goes a long way.
What's that thing about? You attract more with honey than with vinegar. The thing is, though, the thing to keep in mind is that as a person who might claim that they've been disrespected or they're being looked over and in favor of other people by show promoters or what have you, the thing that all of us should keep in mind is that people that put on shows go through a tremendous amount of work and a tremendous amount of trouble to make that thing happen long before any of us are on the floor. So if some person is seeing what they think is favoritism by promoters or the managers of the show, keep in mind that there's oftentimes situations where those promoters, those show managers, for all the work and trouble, and literally trouble that they have to work through, if they find anybody that has treated them decently, that offers up their own help, that is willing to go a little bit beyond the call of duty for them, they really want to, they want to show their appreciation and to help foster that kind of feeling the next time, as well as maybe in other people, because the less work and trouble that they can possibly get, the better. Because, remember, they're dealing with the show itself. They're dealing with hundreds of people that are exhibiting or showing. Plus, they have to deal with the attending public. Plus, they have to deal with the people running the event building or facility. It's an amazing, tremendous amount of effort that goes into these shows. And frankly, I would much rather be on the side of somebody who is there and causes absolutely no rifts and no problems or troubles whatsoever, because I don't want to be looked at by saying, look, you're just a great pain in the ass. And I'd rather just see you shrink away. And I'd rather embrace these people over here who have made it easier for me, and they're friends to me. They, all this kind of stuff. I mean, it's just, it's obviously good business 101, really.
And as a show promoter, I can promise you that's exactly the way it goes.
Well, Randy, I mean, you promote a show, and I'm clear you're a favorite.
We've already had that discussion about why you're way in the back of the hall.
Yeah, exactly. I'm way in the back of the hall too, but I like that spot. I've muscled other.
You keep an eye on everything.
That's it exactly. He's my back entrance gatekeeper.
Yeah, I'm the gatekeeper. So yeah, I'm like, let's get it right there. Actually,
are you coming in? Admission's at the front door.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's your wristband?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Varian, you dog. Oh,
Uber Eats.
It's 1262 East Forest.
Gabriel says that he bought in on his first Kickstarter. He is speaking about the Brian Polito Kickstarters. Speaking of I thought about this too, addresses. Scott, Randy got a letter from a gentleman
in Hawaii
last week in Hawaii.
Why?
Yes. Any email here. I guess the gentleman doesn't watch or listen on IndieVolt Radio, or maybe even watching the live stream. But he recently
I don't think is Don Ho alive. I think he passed quite a while ago, didn't he?
I know, but that's what would make it so special.
You think in Hawaii, that's Hawaii.
He bought a
yeah, he died a long time ago.
Was it Spank or was it?
No,
Spank?
he bought a Tales from the Anniversary one, and I'm still waiting to find out if it's an Arrow or a Massive Anniversary one, because you showed me on Amazon there's people selling Massive Anniversary ones, which is actually volume 2 for $20.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yes, wow. I'm rich. I got cases full back here. Awesome.
And then we found the one book for $50.
Yeah.
Wow. One of Randy's books on Amazon for $50, but the gentleman wants it signed.
Somebody's dreaming. Yes. The guy from Hawaii wants to send it to me and have me sign it and send it back.
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's I mean, Hawaii is in the United States, but I consider that international mail.
I'm sure USPS probably figures the same thing.
It goes 1,000 miles out. No doubt.
Yeah. I said send it. Make sure it's secure. I'll make sure I sign it, and I'll probably send him back a couple more.
Yeah, well, that's
a couple other things. Yeah, I'll load him up.
I wouldn't doubt it if that isn't fueled a little bit by the.
I hate to think you spent $20 for the thing.
No,
another 20 to ship it to me.
Oh yeah.
So,
but no, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not fueled by the expansion of the furry fandom.
Yeah,
because Tales of the Anniversary is just ripe with that stuff.
We were out there before all that started up, though.
Oh yeah.
We had our share of perverts towards the end of the Arrow run, though. We called them perverts. I wanted to get pictures of some of the female characters in revealing poses.
Oh, I love it.
They were hot.
Yeah, well,
they were perverts long before the furry fad started.
Yeah, that's I've met some.
Tell these kids now, I did Tales from the Anniverse. They look at you like, they get that deer in the headlight look. They have no idea what you're talking about.
Shameless plug time.
It's like someday there'll be a cartoon.
2 people. One, Ted Davies, who is in the was in the chat. I mean, maybe he's still be watching. He released his book Retrieve last week. He has sold quite a few. And as a matter of fact, I believe he said he's approaching sellout of his of what he has on hand. So he's been doing really well with that book. It's called Retrieve, and
it is from Davey. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was in the chat with us a few times. He's been on the show twice, I think. He's been twice. But yeah, the book is available at lastcallcomics.com in the store. You can order yourself a copy there. I did read it. It's pretty interesting. I'm also the publisher of Last Call Comics.
I'm getting a signed copy.
Yeah. Hopefully, we wish him continued success. And then our own resident superstar, Louis Bright Raven, is you're going to be at, is it next Tuesday midnight event at Scratch and Spin Comics? Louis will be there.
Scratch and Spin Records and Pop Culture Collectibles.
He's a invited artist. He will be at the show, the event.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Show was.
Where's that going to be at?
It's in West Columbia, South Carolina, on 12th Street, across from the Zestos restaurant.
Okay.
Anybody who's in Columbia, you just ask for Zestos. It's a very well-known restaurant in the area. They'll be able to find it.
Oh, and you're going to be there as a guest artist, doing some drawing, some prints,
prints, sketch cards, just different stuff. Let's see.
No, well, he's looking Varian. I'd like to go back to that guy.
These are the prints I'll be selling. Some of them.
Awesome. Thor and what is that?
Yoda.
Is that Yoda?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yoda.
Okay.
What?
Excellent.
Viking Yoda? Yeah.
Viking Yoda.
Yeah, he's working on his own Indiegogo. And that's Tipsy that he's got back there under his arm.
Awesome.
Yeah. Tipsy the gnome.
Oh, Akira. Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to figure out how to go, which is dragon.
Chinese dragon?
Yep.
Oh, very nice.
These are just some of the prints I'll have available.
Good. Ooh, Velociraptor.
And we gotta go with our typical zombie thing.
Ah, excellent. Excellent.
So I'll have stuff like that and sketch cards and
how much are your prints usually?
Well, these vary from 10 to 15 on 11 by 17s, and then the 8.5 by 11s are anywhere from $1 to $10 depending on what it is.
Gotcha. Best of luck. I'm congratulating on that. That should be a good show.
Yeah. Well, it's only a midnight sale. They're promoting the Marvel 1000 release, and we're only gonna be there for like an hour and a half. Is all.
Wow! And are you driving down there? Are they flying you?
It's 5 minutes away.
Oh, you're down there already. Okay,
he's down there already.
I keep.
We're not all local.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, good. Good luck.
Yeah.
He's
very.
I'll probably do better there than I did at the last few comic shows I've been at, unfortunately. But
yeah, sometimes when you're at shows where there's not much not much other competition, you can do fairly well.
Yeah.
Especially if they're there for your stuff.
Yeah.
Varian, if you don't mind, I'd kind of like to go back to the guy that said he contributed to Plutio's first Kickstarter. Is he still online? Is he still listening?
Gabe,
Gabe's still here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's still here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right, there he is. Now, Gabriel, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask you a question or two about that. What you contributed to Plutio's first Kickstarter, and what did you get for that? What perks did you get for that? So hopefully he'll hear that and like to see what his answer is.
He does a multiple amount of different levels. Once he hits certain dollar amounts, he throws other stuff in. He's got a whole warehouse full of tchotchkes.
Oh yeah.
Stuff that he he got in mass, in bulk, and then he hands out as tier levels. Once he hits 100,000, everybody gets a sticker. Once he hits 125, I'm not exactly sure how he sets that up, but that's how a lot of guys are doing it now.
And that's what I understand is one of the great ways to make a Kickstarter be attractive is to make sure that what you're offering for a contribution is far more in value than what the contribution is.
Well, like Doug Tenaple's Bigfoot Bill book, when he solicited for it, it was just going to be a standard graphic novel. But if he hit the 80,000 mark, it was in hardcover. If it hit the 100,000 mark, you got a bookmark. If you hit the 150,000 mark, every little step in order to encourage more money to come in, he gave people out stuff. So when you actually got the package in the mail, it's in almost a small pizza box. The book is printed by the same guys who print the yearbooks for high schools.
Oh, wow.
Jolson's. It's a beautiful book. It's stamped and gold foil stamped, which were all perks. It had a bookmark. It had a cloth patch attached to it. And he offered a second book that you could buy at the same time that was about the making of the first book.
Oh,
if you go over to his Earthworm Jim campaign, you'll see he's got all of these amazing tiers set up at different levels, including gifts back to all of his like $10,000 or $10,000 gifts back to his, or bonuses is what they are, back to all of the people that helped him on creating the book.
Wow.
Which was cool. It's like Ethan ran at one of his podcast, he ran a stretch goal that if he hit a certain mark during that show, he would give his colorist an extra $10,000.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, so they hit it, and he did it.
No kidding. That's great.
But as colorist, if you've ever seen the stuff, the color work that's coming in the book, even that the colorist has done, he's got his own Kickstarter now called Star Blades. The coloring on that's amazing. Just crazy good. Yeah.
And that's the thing is that if you can, because you don't want to set it up so that's like one of those PBS pledges where $45 you get a mug. I mean,
here's something cheap. No, it goes out to everybody. But that to start with, they have different tiers also, because like with the Bigfoot Bill book, you could get the main book for $25, or you could get the main book plus the making of book for $50.
Oh, okay.
And both of those books, once he sent them out, were all hardcover, and they were really beautiful books, just incredible.
Oh, wow,
really impressive products.
And that's one of the secrets to a good Kickstarter or good any kind of good funding campaign.
Yeah, it is.
Kickstarter, Indiegogo, whatever.
The nicer that book looks, the happier the customer looks. The happier the customer is, the more he's going to get back on it. Or like me, go around and tell everybody, man, you should have seen this book. This book's awesome.
Oh yeah. I remember. I remember your enthusiasm, Randy, over those Marvel Essentials they were putting out for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, what a deal! You get the collected but they're black and whites, but the collection of like 20 issues and one.
They were selling 25 issues for $15.
Oh God! I mean, what a huge deal!
I'm still not sure why they stopped it, other than the fact that they had them printed in China, and having them shipped back and forth was probably getting to be a risk. But they were also hitting material that not a lot of people wanted to buy. Once you get up into the Defenders 6th or 7th volume, the quality on that book, it's kind of shaky.
Yeah, that's very true.
But the first 3 or 4 of those are just incredible.
They're all the
amazing reads. Yeah.
Damn. Incredible material.
Yeah. Real solid reading, solid stuff. So
I just got sent a question. It wasn't
the same thing with DC and the showcase books. They were nice products too that they stopped for, who knows why.
All right, Varian. I think we're frozen. Oh, there you go.
Sorry, but
go ahead, Varian.
In my email, not my email. Sorry, in Messenger, run to massages, and I'll put it back up on the screen. Real quick, I mean, if Randy, you came across this and someone said they were offering Comics Con. Are you worried about that as a promoter? You are?
Yeah. I'd be concerned.
What steps
I'm just a small show. I'm not like a 2 or 3 day show. Like, yeah. I wouldn't want them technically soliciting or escorting using my venue as a launching point. That would be a little concerning.
Oh yeah. Wow.
But if I had somebody that wanted to come in and set up a massage table, I think I would refer them up to the market offices, because that's not something that's related to my show directly. And the somebody if I were to allow them to come in and set that up, I would not want to make the market people upset, or anybody at the market upset, that somebody was there offering that kind of service when it's not, comic or genre related.
Yeah, and we didn't look at it from that standpoint. I was just thought about that.
That would be. You asked me, that would be my concern running the shows at the farmers market like that. Mm-hmm. But if I was running a 1 or 2 or 3 day show, I would be, depending upon how they advertised, I'd be a little concerned. But if they wanted to take their own space,
Yeah, well, the fact that, especially someplace like the farmer's market, that's a completely wholesome family environment. You don't want to, throw in the potential of somebody thinking, oh, there's a little, business happening over in the back room. Yeah, and not to mention,
I try to make sure that it's as family friendly as possible. So there's even artists that specify in more adult material that I haven't extended an offer to come in and set up at the show, because I know it's a family friendly environment.
Oh yeah. And the thing is, I remember speaking of being at Wizard World, I think Wizard World they're still kind of bearing the brunt of, actually, some years back, they actually brought in real porn stars as guests for the show. And
there was a period that a lot of the shows were doing that.
Oh yeah, that was and
Motor City used to have a fantasy aisle. That's what they called it, and bring in Playboy bunnies and
kidding.
Yeah, big name porn stars. Yeah.
See, and that's just and I
there's a time and place for that, for everything, or there's always a time and place for something, but it's not at a family friendly show. No.
Oh no. I mean, if you want to run a show like that, great, but throwing it in there when you got one row of that stuff and you got another row of somebody selling the Harvey comics,
right,
and all that. I mean, it's just it doesn't.
If you set it up properly, I mean, it's not, you're not going to put those side by side, but
I really liked it at Mid Ohio Con. Used to do that, but they had a whole separate room where they had gatekeepers at the door. If somebody looked too young, they checked their ID before they let them into the room.
Right.
But that's the last time I saw some really great vendors set up with some really oddball underground stuff, and that's the place for that kind of material.
Oh, sure. And the thing is, it's, even if you do have an atmosphere of separation, and all that, there's still this notion that you're bringing your kids into a situation where that's, right down the way, and
And you still have vendors out there like the great Dan Fogel, who'll set up whole boxes or whole displays of underground material, but he's got it plainly marked, in order to keep the moms away, in order to keep the kids away, and warn the moms, and he keeps a real strict eye on who's looking in those boxes. In those boxes.
I remember there was I'll find it and I'll bring it back up when we.
If you're familiar with what they did with the Playboy bunnies and porn stars, Scott, most of them are more professionally dressed. And what I mean by professionally dressed, I mean they're in gowns. They're not. There's nothing showing. The cosplayers are.
Oh no! Yeah. Yep.
I mean, the cosplayers show a heck of a lot more than with the.
Oh, I'm not talking about the physical display of them. That was fine. It's just that what they were there for, the content of their appearance,
what they were known for, the content of their business. Yeah.
I mean, I just you go up to them and you walk your kid past their table. What do you do? I mean, how do you you're putting a paying attendance person in the position of having to deal with that one way or the other. And I don't think that's fair to the people paying money to get into the show, unless that's what they were there for.
Yep.
But for other people that aren't there, are hoping to come in there and have their children or even their spouse or what have you.
Yeah.
You're asking them to deal with a situation that they may not be prepared for.
Yep.
And I just don't think it's particularly great business to insist on trying to mix oil and water for the benefit of you getting that appearance and getting some other attendance from it, while making other attendants uncomfortable and making them think. I think if you want to do a show like that, awesome, you'll get great attendance and it's great. But to mix the two, and it's just, I think you're just asking for trouble and making it far more complex than it needs to be. Especially
nowadays, because you have to really consider the angry mom mob angle.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. I mean,
and the last thing you need at your show is an angry mom mob.
Yeah, like I said, it was a lot different back in the 80s and 90s. People did not.
Very different. Well, that's like you were saying about the cosplay. That's actually how cosplay started. It's a bunch of girls that wanted to be looked at, and they were in the middle of a bunch of misogynistic men who wanted to look at girls.
What's the name of the
and they knew it. That's why they dressed up as cosplay.
What's the name of the former porn star?
And now it's all the hypocrisy of, I don't want to be photographed unless it's a professional photographer, or no means no, and all of this, when that nobody understands how this stuff actually, began.
Varian asked a question.
Tracy Lords, in her bio for a convention that I was at, she listed in her bio, Tracy Lords, former underage porn star.
Yes,
it's in her bio.
Yeah,
and it's like, yeah. I mean, I know it's part of it, but who okayed that? Like,
now you have to wonder if that was something she okayed, or if that's something that the convention people wrote in just to write in, because that's not something. And I know that for a fact. That's not something that she goes around and publicly announces.
Right.
She doesn't make a big deal about the fact that she, ran away from home and didn't tell anybody her age when she got into the adult film business.
Right. She got out of it and became a real actress. So, what we call a real actress.
And she's in Blade 1. She's 5. That was kind of cool to see her in Blade. She's driving the guy.
She had a whole season of Third Wave on Sci-Fi Channel.
Right.
She did really well at it. So,
hello, James.
Hello, James. How's it going this morning?
James. Hi, James.
Well,
in terms of Tracy Lord, the thing is, first of all, I very easily lay down a huge question mark as whether or not she's an actress. She is a professional performer, and she was
an adult film star. That's inescapable. But she was an actress. She's been in a lot of B movies and on B television.
Okay. Well, let me put this.
I mean, performing not as a piece of meat, but actually performing a part. She's very careful anymore. I'm not even sure if she's acting anymore. But the last time I knew, the parts that she got, she made sure that her body wasn't a factor in her getting that part.
True. And I define actress not just because of the quality of what she's doing, which I've seen what she's acted in, and she's not a great actress by any stretch. But at the same time, I also have to call into question her desire to truly be an actress per se, in terms of how you define a real actress.
Well, back in the early 80s, late 70s, the adult film business was made up of a lot of frustrated actors.
That's true.
That's how they got into the business. And a lot of the people, there's quite a few people that transitioned from adult films into regular acting.
That's true.
And even Sylvester Stallone has his own stag film out there that, he has tried to successfully bury quite a bit.
Oh, sure. And the thing is, the ones that I would define as real actors or actresses are the ones that exhibit an obvious desire to truly be a good actor. An actor, not just simply to be in front of the camera and recite lines. That's not an actor or actress. And so there, in that respect, Tracy Lords, it's not just her past that's defined by her being underage, but the fact is that she was very, very, she did very distinctive, deliberate actions in order to just become famous. And for her, porn was the fastest, easiest way to get there. And I know people that work in the adult film industry and have connections to it.
Mm-hmm.
And to one of them, they say that, when she went from being in the industry to out of the industry, she literally burned bridges behind her that she didn't need to do.
Right.
And there were many, many people, even though the porn industry is ripe with all kinds of shady characters, there are fairly decent people that simply believe in just that's the kind of material they like doing. And a lot of people were hurt terribly by her actions. Yep. So she comes to me with many, many pounds of tainted baggage, if I could say, that she really has no way to not lay claim to.
Guys, I reached out to Mark Hodges about the massages, and I asked them same thing I asked you, Randy. If at your show would you shut it down? He said that if it was he wouldn't allow it, but what happens off site happens off site. If it's in a hotel room, what could he do? Now, if they used the logo or call themselves an official part, you want to jump over that and make sure you shut that down.
That goes back to that razzle problem again that we had on Thursday.
Oh yeah,
or Tuesday.
Yeah. You ever play Razzle, Scott?
No. Is that
there are people that have set up at shows that have done a carnival game that you can't win at.
Or other names for
a lot of people's money.
There were some other names for
carnival games you can't win at, but
there were some other names for it, right, Lewis?
Yes.
10 point something, 10 points to win, or I don't. Yeah. There were a couple different names, but they said
I know I've never played it.
Yeah. They took a lady at Michigan Comic-Con for $2,000.
Holy crap!
Yeah. I don't know why she kept playing after the first 1,000, but
there's a level of addiction there tied into that.
That's also known as 10 points win, Moco, Indian poker, and Cajun bingo, among other things.
And it's specifically set up that for you for anybody to not win,
right?
Except for the house.
Yeah.
Wow. And that were they shut down or were they?
They were shut down on
Sunday at 1.
Yeah, at Sunday at 1:00. Even though convention promotion was told Friday. They let them stay. I'm also finding out. I've also been told some other information about certain not con promoters, but floor managers. If you own a big company, some floor managers are allowing people to come to the show. So, okay, let's say Randy has a show Randy does the Flint show, he does a Saginaw show. Let's say Randy does a show down in Columbia where Lewis is at. But Randy is too busy to go, so he hires me and Scott as his floor guys. And we make sure everything's on the up and up. Well, Lewis walks into the show. Lewis wants a table. I look for Scott. I look left. I look right over my shoulder, and I say, "Well, table's at $200 cash." Lewis hands me that $200 cash, and I go over to a spot. I stuff it in my pocket. I'll make sure the number on the table has been removed, and I sit Lewis in that spot. Lewis understands that he's not going to be in our program. He came in the show late. Lewis understands. Yeah. He's gonna get. So he sits down and he starts drawing. But according to Randy's books, Lewis was never at the show.
Right.
Oh, I see.
I've got the money in my pocket. Which
pay for play.
Yeah.
Well, first off, you're giving me a receipt and a few other things to confirm that I was there for my own records.
I see. If you're gonna be difficult and put my job at risk, I can't help you in the show. I can't help you.
Suddenly, there's no tables available, buddy.
Well, that's why I don't go to a lot of shows because they aren't professional. Fuck them.
There's shady stuff like that going on all over the place. I mean, I heard a couple of publisher stories about that when it came to that almost the exact same idea as that when it came to getting into previews.
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds, yeah.
So back in the 90s and 2000s. So
Yep.
Damn.
You pay us an extra $200 and we'll get your picture in the catalog. And then that money was all, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And that money never goes to.
So
Diamond's close to bankruptcy. So
Randy, you find out about that. You find out I'm pocketing money and bringing people in the show and just sitting them, at tables. Am I shit canned?
Well, yeah. That's a silly question.
I mean, like,
I don't make that much money at the show. That kind of an expense can be hidden for.
And worse yet, he's gonna sick me on you.
Yeah,
there we go.
And like,
go back and then we'll just go get a pizza or something.
I said, Scott, remember that time I gave you a free table? Come on, man.
I paid for it with 3 pizzas.
Larger shows, 2-3 day shows. I could see it in huge halls. I can see that being a problem, and I'm sure that has definitely been a problem in the past.
Sorry, but I'm eating bacon. It's delicious. Oh, let me show you guys something. I'm sure
it's your breakfast again.
I'm sure that Scott. I'm sorry. I'm sure that Lewis has seen it.
Uh-oh.
What?
We weren't going to talk about our porn careers.
We're talking about actresses. As you guys know.
That's another show altogether. That's going to be on Saturday night at 3 a.m.
We've been talking about actresses.
Special episode of IndieVolt.
And Ronda Rousey recently jumped to acting.
Oops. Jumped is not the good word. Stumbled into it.
She was on the set of 911, this Fox show, and she hurt herself.
Yep.
Really badly.
What is that?
Oh man.
Wait. Is that her finger?
Yes, her finger almost completely severed.
Good God.
I don't know what happened exactly. I think something fell on her hand.
Oh,
she didn't do anything. She just played the part until the scene was done, then pulled her hand out, looked at it, went over to the director and said, I need to go to the hospital. I'll be back.
Holy crap.
Because she is a badass.
Yeah. That's a tough woman.
Yeah. That looks like a broken bone. Minimal.
Down. That's nasty.
Is that before they set it? That whole finger is twisted.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I can't even look at it.
Yeah, that hurts. That hurts just to look at. Severely hurts.
Varian, you're going to make me throw up your bacon if you don't take that picture down.
Yeah, right.
I had not seen that photo, Varian. I'd heard about it, but I had not seen it.
Yeah.
We wish her and her hand well.
It's on What Culture was actually posted it. My wife showed it to me yesterday, and I was like,
"That's your wife, Varian. Look at this."
Yeah.
Speaking of Ronda Rousey, I think that she got the terribly dirty end of the stick when she was in the extreme fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think what was going on is that her winning streak of like 10 fights in a row or something that she was so famous for, I think she was unduly and unfairly set up by the people running that industry, because she was a very, very attractive woman in the classic misogynist description of attractive. And I think they kept setting her up with fairly easy wins in order for her to keep winning.
That might not have been the organizers of the show as of the sport as much as her management.
Yeah, and I think they were doing that in order to just keep promoting her as the pretty winning girl.
Well, you also have to remember at the time that females in that sport were extremely rare, and she did a lot in order to boost that that particular market.
Yeah.
And she is tough.
Oh yeah, no, I don't take anything away from her ability. She's a hell of a fighter, no doubt. But I think that she was unfairly manipulated by her management and maybe the show, because they knew they had a real cash cow, and having her win and be featured as the winner for fight after fight after fight.
And that's typical of every fighter and every management, though. Anyone that thinks that they're going to make money off of them.
Yeah, it's just an incredibly gross example of how that system set her up for that incredible failure that she had to go through when she faced that one fighter, because the one that she lost at was in a very, very good fighter too, but they were, I don't know how conscious it was on the management's part or whatever, but they were setting her up with this incredibly debilitating sense of confidence that was as much artificially generated as realistically generated. And so when she got trounced in that last fight she did, where she lost, I just think it was just dirty pool all the way. And I think she got a very, very, very unfair.
Well, she lost 2 in a row, right?
What's that?
She lost 2 in a row. She lost the one.
Yeah,
came back.
She lost Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that the people running the show were, as much as they supposedly cried, "Oh, it's so terrible" and all this. No, they were hoping for some big tragic turnaround in order for the ratings to soar through the roof. And they just, used her and were more than happy to see her get trounced. It's really, really dirty pool. Very, very dirty pool.
I don't know if I agree with you on that.
And I would say, I would paraphrase that, Scott, as being your opinion.
There you go.
We are live.
That's true.
So,
yeah, again, I'm looking at the record and who she fought and when she fought them. And I'm into MMA, so I'm a little more familiar with different people and different levels. There was only like 2 or 3 people in the division that could really do anything against her. And the 2 that she lost to were 2 out of the 3 that could have done it. So
okay,
it's pretty much, it's a matter of getting scheduled who's going to get scheduled. There's a lot of fighters in the males division that they'll go 10, 12, 15 fights. You're like, why is this guy winning all the time? And they finally put him against somebody that has a shot. 38 seconds later, the champ's gone. They're just totally crashed.
Yeah. Especially in MMA, I've seen that happen a lot.
Because in MMA, it just takes one thing, one hit, one shot, you can go down. So
you don't think that they might have manipulated the scheduling so that she didn't face the really?
Oh no, I think that there was publicity build up, absolutely. But you also have to remember that in those kind of sports, you have to fight a lot of lower level people before you get a chance to hit an upper level person.
Right.
You have to fight your way up. We've got Clarissa Shields here in Flint, and I know she went through a number of bouts where she just walked all over people and looked really, really good, but she had to walk over those lower people in order to get a chance at the bigger professional fighters in the titles.
Do you think that's what Rousey went through?
I think that's some of it. Yeah, I think they publicized the heck out of her because she was likable and good on camera and all that. But that's just part of the publicity of a sport. Wouldn't you say, Lewis?
Yeah, and again, it's the same thing when she was champion. By the time she got to be a champion, she walked through most of the competition. There was only certain ones left for her to face. And when they got the other people who went through all their transitions to get up to her level, like when she finally faced Holly Holm, Holly Holm had a good 10 or 12 fights in the division at that point to earn the shot against Rousey when she beat her.
Oh, okay.
And when Rousey came back after losing to Holm, one of the other top girls, Amanda Nunes, had beaten Holm for the championship, and they said, "Okay, well, you're going to get your title rematch, so to speak, against Nunes," and Nunes just trashed her.
Rousey trashed Rousey.
Nunes trashed Rousey in like 48 seconds.
Wow.
But again, it's about style and technique too, because Rousey is more of a judo and wrestling.
Yeah. I noticed her strength was always in close.
Right. And she was when she lost Holly, she got hit with a side kick up the head.
Oh yeah. Holmes was a long distance fighter.
Yeah.
Only takes one.
And Nunez is powerhouse for punches. So there was, that's what it was.
Why do you guys? Because it just seems Ronda has never really embraced like the "Hey, I'm cute, I'm sexy" type of.
Well, she hasn't. She hasn't, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah, she really has it. Like she's still like I'll still whoop your ass, and maybe that has to do with the sport that she's in. She's in a physical sport, and people tend to respect her more than they do a Danica Patrick. Why do you think that is? Because Danica, I mean, people she can't drive, she sucks.
Honestly, I think you're also looking at a harder level of misogyny, and the guys. Looking at a female driver is completely different from fighters looking at another female fighter.
Right. Plus the female, first off, fighting is badass to begin with. And the other thing is Danica never really hit the level of success that Rousey and some of the other women in.
She was a GoDaddy girl.
But
we're talking about in the damn competition.
In the sport. In the sport.
Yeah, in the sport. Yeah.
Who cares about GoDaddy? Good God.
Careful, Lewis. Varian's high on bacon. You gotta take that consideration.
I'm on GoDaddy.
High on bacon. Got that bacon fix.
Got it. That bacon be raw. But
it can be raw. I hope not. You had it Ubered in, buddy. I hope it ain't raw.
Now.
So what was your question, Varian? You were posing it to all of us.
Well, yeah, I was Danica Patrick.
Six questions ago.
Yeah. But do you guys think, I was going to tie it back into what we're talking about, which is, and Randy kind of hinted at it with the misogyny. So, again, Ronda's in fighting. Danica's racing, which might be a deeper level of misogyny, And then you got, what we all do, which is comic books, and the misogyny involved in that. Now, Lewis was telling me that somebody he didn't introduce me to her, but he made me aware of, Colleen Doran.
Yeah, Colleen, yeah. Great art.
That she dealt with a lot of misogyny.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean, before my time, really. But
she still deals with it, even though she's been around since 81, 82, I think is what she got.
Yeah, something like that.
See, I was born in 82. So, is it something that, I mean, do you think that, who had it worse? Who do you think gets it worse?
What do you mean?
Out of those three women, I mean, you witnessed Colleen getting hit on constantly.
The misogyny in any form is bad. Being hit on and sexual harassment is inexcusable.
Right.
In any sport or occupation.
Any line of existence, really. Yeah. It doesn't matter what field of employment you're in.
In terms of who exactly you're meaning got it worse, I'm not sure, Varian, but certainly
Colleen's had the longest, that's for sure.
Yeah, the longest, definitely. But I think
there have been women in comics that have had longer careers than Colleen. It's just
we're talking about between her and Danica and Ronda.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, really, who can say? The whole each of their perspectives, I'm sure, is quite unique.
At the point that Colleen started, it was shamefully misogynistic.
Yeah,
probably at a 98 to 2 percentage variation. I would say that would be about the proper percentage.
Other than a fan grabbing one of my booth girls, or slapping her between her legs.
He
was walking through the convention and he did his hand like he wanted a high five, and she high fived him, and he used the force of the high five to go around like this and touch her,
feel her
legs. No, the front.
Oh, okay.
And he says cooter when he does it.
Oh God.
He says cooter, and she was.
And then you wish he had done that to Ronda Rousey and saw what the heck.
That's time for a roundhouse. And for everybody else to stand around, point, and laugh as the guy hits the floor.
Yeah. She was too shocked to do anything about it. She was like, This guy
and understandably so. I mean, the thing is, women can be as aware as it can be as aware as possible that this can happen, but when it does happen to them directly, it's always shocking. I can't imagine any woman not being shocked by it, because it's just something so intrinsically invasive.
Mm-hmm.
It's so grossly invasive to your personal space. It'd be like somebody touching me right on my junk. I mean, oh my, what the hell?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I don't know, call it genetics, call it,
it's an invasion of privacy.
Yeah. I mean, it really is.
Yeah,
I mean,
literally.
Just stepping too close to somebody can be an invasion.
Yep.
of privacy,
When it happened to her and she told me, I felt responsible, because it's like, she's one of my booth girls. I put her out front of the table.
Right.
And
you shouldn't feel responsible for it happening, but certainly you can be responsible for taking care of it.
Yeah. I made security aware, and I'm not sure if I found the guy, but security definitely did start sweeping the area. And,
I'd have found him.
Oh,
yeah.
That's just being a pig. I mean,
just a matter of grabbing him and telling him to make sure he stays the hell away from my table. He doesn't want to be within arm reach of me for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Oh,
and I'd make sure security knew.
no.
Yeah, he was.
No threat, just a promise.
I'm not sure I could.
You don't want to be around my table the rest of the. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
Stay away from me. Stay away from her. Stay away from all of us. And I'm making sure security knows, or the convention organizer knows.
It's one that I think that's the most misogynistic thing that I've personally ever witnessed. Like, you think you have the right to just tap some girl.
Well, now we live in an age of digital capture. So that'd be the time you whip the camera out and take a good picture of him and take him to take the picture up to security.
Yeah.
Make sure that they know this is the guy. This is what he did.
Have you guys ever witnessed anything like that? Like, not like that, but like some female at a convention being. I know Lewis is he watched. I think you said Lewis. Sorry if I'm putting words in your mouth, but you did witness Colleen being harassed.
Not to that physical level, but yeah, I've seen her get hit on constantly. I've seen people. There's a more younger artist. I don't want to name her by name, but she's worked for DC in recent year. She was sitting in her chair, and her jeans had slid down a little bit too low, and you could see her thumb out through the back of the chair, and guys were taking photos of it.
Oh, God.
And I had to go take care of that and put her hoodie over the back of the chair and whispered to her what was going on. And then I proceeded to go after the guys and get all of them to delete their phones. But,
oh, good for you. Good for you.
Wouldn't let them leave the show that time. But there's stuff like that goes on, unfortunately.
Well, luckily, I've never seen anything like that personally. I have seen plenty of ogling from a distance.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm even probably been guilty of that myself one or two times. But the whole notion is that I've never seen an act of personal invasion or a gross disrespectful abuse of public appearance. And luckily, I've never seen that, but I know it's happened. I've heard of it happening.
Mm-hmm.
I would be incensed if it happened anywhere near me, and I would if I witnessed it. It would just be that's just terrible.
Especially anymore. I mean, with modern sensibilities.
Oh
it's just inexcusable behavior.
Oh,
Randy, you witnessed it at all?
Not directly during a show. I've heard about plenty, but after shows, I've seen it a few times. Yeah.
And it's just.
But I made it after a while. I made it a point not to stick around after the show. I was there. I did the show, and very rarely did I go to an after party.
A guy who doesn't like me asked my wife, "Why is she with this kid?" I know it's early morning, but why is she with me? He could F her better than me. I was at a show.
Yeah, that's uncalled for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen stupid stuff like that mentioned.
And I've always found that people that have to boast are usually the exact opposite.
I told her. I said he's probably right. I mean, I'm no superstar. I'm let's get this
Wishful
done.
thinkers. Just wishful thinkers.
Listen. I'm like that joke they told a long time ago. 5 minutes is all I got. That's the exact amount of time of a world heavyweight championship bout, and people that got knocked out in that amount of time. That's it. I ain't got nothing to prove. We're married. We're married now. I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm in and I'm out. Let's go. Guys, now Lewis has a problem that I think will be great to have. Lewis has actually
I've had women hit on me that was not appropriate too. Yes,
he had boobs in his face for free art. That's a great problem to have. That's never happened to me. I wish
you haven't gone to enough strip clubs.
Well,
take your sketch pad. Take your sketch pad.
You got to
see how that happens.
Situation where it's possible.
Yeah, somebody's being called.
Pardon me.
It's a spam call.
I'll mute it so you can have some privacy.
Okay.
Let's call. I don't want him.
It's getting to be close to that time. I'm hearing the pitter patter of the granddaughter upstairs. So
okay.
Yeah, it's 11. I need to get back on the road, take care of our errands for the day.
Not a problem. Real quick though, guys. James Dunn said these people just don't care anymore, sadly. But I don't get it. All these whorehouses and places for it, but they're doing it openly to randoms. And that's
there's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, the fact that they do it openly means that they're into that kind of kink.
Yeah,
that's just it's not that they can't do it somewhere else. It's just another form of their kink they want to entertain.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not right. That's why they're doing it.
Before we go, Scott, I've got 2 words for all of your ogling.
Yeah,
dark sunglasses.
Oh, there we go. Well, trust me, it's gone down to almost non-existent now, but still, it's something.
Yeah. Summer is fun. That's why you wear dark sunglasses.
Now that we're all at our ages, when it's like, what do you mean that young?
Most ogling I do now involves women with walkers. So,
hey, baby, I like your walker.
Hey, where you going? Come back.
That's messed up. All right, guys. After you guys on Thursday.
This is more evening talk than breakfast buzz.
Yeah. I think you guys were buzzed this morning. That's the problem.
There goes the big.
Hey, you're the one to keep up with the questions.
Yeah,
that's true. We're just following suit.
Should probably go around the horn and talk about what we're finishing up and where people can reach us.
Yeah, Randy, you go first. Go ahead.
Zim Geek channel right there on YouTube. Just put up a video a couple days ago. There's another one coming real soon. I'm in the middle of a bunch of commercial work, and hopefully I'll be getting to my the Flint Comics part of my basement here really quick. I found a couple of really nice charities that are looking for comic stuff, so there'll be some anonymous boxes here shortly. So other than that, that's about it. I can always be reached on Facebook, Twitter, Randy Zim. So, but Zim Geek's probably the biggest place right now.
Lewis?
In about 2 weeks, I'll be launching my own YouTube channel as well, Quoth the Raven. And I'm, as we mentioned earlier in this episode, I will be at Scratch and Spin Records and Pop Culture Media Store in West Columbia, South Carolina next week. And I'll probably mention that again on Tuesday. And I'll be doing some other stuff shortly that I can't talk about just yet. Maybe next week.
Okay.
My September show is on the 14th. Scott Rosema will be there.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Awesome.
At Flint Downtown Farmers Market.
Right. I'll right now I'm finishing up that painting in the background, making some good progress on it, so it feels good for that.
It's looking good.
Yeah, I'll make sure I feature it when it's done.
Do that.
I'll be doing this coming Saturday. I'll be at Grand Rapids at the Republic Museum doing the Makers Fair.
Cool.
Susie, which will be mostly focused on her wands that she's making and special lamps and all that. Real fun stuff.
Yep.
I'll have some art prints there. Then the weekend after that, Indiana Comic-Con down in Indianapolis. Then the weekend after that, Hall of Heroes convention in Elkhart, Indiana.
Sweet.
And then the weekend after that, I'll be in Cincinnati at the big Cincinnati Comic Con. So busy days ahead.
Busy days.
That's awesome. Guys, and just so our viewers know, they because I gotta pay, I gotta plug our stuff. This is make sure you can take IndieVolt with you wherever you go. Introducing IndieVolt Radio, the perfect companion to our official website, IndieVolt.com. IndieVolt Radio plays the best in indie music, entertainment, and news, and more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can hear music from talent like Chemical, Park Squares and Alleys, and Dim's One. Download the IndieVolt Radio app on Android's Google Play Store, or listen in with the Streamer app on iOS. You can also check out IndieVolt Radio by visiting the official website, IndieVolt.com, and using the built-in player there. So you can listen right there on our website as well. And then if radio isn't your thing, if it isn't, and it should be, because
it is. It's everybody's thing.
Yeah. You can also check out IndieVolt TV. This is over-the-top streaming service available on Roku and coming very soon to Amazon Fire Stick and more. You can stream independent movies, music, videos, wrestling, original documentaries, and more. IndieVolt TV. And did I mention that it's free? Find IndieVolt TV by searching the channel store on your Roku device or Roku-enabled television. I'm working on my comic. I'm very slow. It'll be done. I'm doing a commission, wrapping that up. It'll be wrapped up before the end of the week, I promise. Well, the commissions will, not the comic. Jesus Christ. No. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Guys, please stay safe this week.
You too.
We will.
Yeah, I will probably pull up maybe a special IndieVolt this week covering covering Wizard World Chicago. I got some people there who will be joining, who will be able to do like satellite reports. So yeah, we're gonna check in with Eric Hodson during the show and see how it's going.
Excellent.
All right, guys.
That'll be great. Live remotes.
Yeah, live remotes. Like, how is it? Is the show floor empty? It would have been really well at Mission Comic Con this week.
We need a report. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, you guys have a good day. Everyone out there watching, have a better one. We'll talk to you soon.
Everybody.
Take care. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.